February 21st, 2025. In the ultra-modern headquarters of Dubai's Bybit cryptocurrency exchange, an event is unfolding that will redefine financial crime for the digital age. A routine internal transfer of customer funds is underway. Billions are being moved from the cold wallet, the highly secure offline vault, to the warm wallet for daily operations. It should be a simple, standard procedure, requiring the approval of 3 senior signers. But in the space of just 2 distinct transactions, something catastrophic happens. Approximately $1.46 billion in digital assets, predominantly Ethereum and associated tokens, vanishes. This was not a simple smash and grab. This was the work of a phantom, a group that didn't break through the front door, but instead compromised the construction crew. It wasn't just a hack against a company, it was the largest single financial heist in modern history, surpassing even the $1 billion looted from the Iraqi central bank in 2003. And like so many of the most devastating cyber attacks of the past decade, every single digital clue points back to one relentless, state-sponsored force: the Lazarus Group. How did North Korea, already facing crippling international sanctions, manage to pull off a hybrid attack that weaponized trust itself? How did they breach a system designed with multiple fail-safes? And more importantly, how do they plan to spend the spoils? To answer these questions, we must dissect the crime, trace the money's desperate flight across the decentralized web, and confront a terrifying reality. Cybercrime is no longer just about profit. For one nation, it is the sole engine fueling its most dangerous ambitions. The moment the attack was publicly acknowledged, the financial world shuddered. In the immediate aftermath, the price of Bitcoin plunged a staggering 20%. The sheer magnitude of the loss instantly elevated the incident from a market event to a matter of national security. Bybit was built on the industry standard of security, the multi-signature protocol, or multisig. This system requires multiple authorized personnel, at least 3 senior staff, to approve a transfer. It was a digital defense in depth, designed to prevent any single point of failure. To manage this complex process, Bybit relied on a trusted third-party vendor, SafeWallet. The security architects believed they were safe because the signers used hardened hardware wallets, like ledgers. The signers would see the transaction details on their screens, confirm the details, and apply their signature, effectively ensuring decentralized governance. But the attackers did not target the complex cryptographic process itself. Instead, they targeted the most vulnerable point in the chain: trust. The operation began not with lines of code, but with a classic off-chain act of human deception: social engineering. In early February 2025, the Lazarus Group successfully infiltrated the workstation of a developer associated with SafeWallet. This was the key to unlocking the entire kingdom. The attackers stole high-privilege credentials, AWS session tokens, and used them to hijack an active developer session. They effectively bypassed standard multi-factor authentication and slipped into SafeWallet's cloud infrastructure undetected. Their goal wasn't just to steal data, it was to become a digital ghost inside the bank's security provider. Once inside the vendor's production environment, the attackers injected a tiny sliver of highly targeted malicious JavaScript code into the user interface that Bybit signers used. Imagine the 3 signers sitting at their desks. On their screens, the transaction looks completely normal. Transfer funds from Wallet A, cold storage, to Wallet B, warm wallet. They confirm the details on the screen, feeling secure in the multi-sig process. But the malicious code altered the visual details. When the signers approved the transaction, they were victims of a fundamental security flaw known as blind signing. They were compelled to approve the transaction based only on the compromised visual confirmation provided by the UI, without the capability to independently verify the underlying transaction payload. The system worked perfectly, just not for Bybit. The signers approved the transaction, sending $1.46 billion not to their warm wallet, but to a single, attacker-controlled address. The defense in-depth had collapsed. The multisig was negated because the signers were lied to by their own trusted vendor's UI. The sheer scale of the theft and its attribution to the Lazarus Group confirms that this wasn't mere crime, it was strategic state financing. Since 2017, North Korea-linked actors have stolen over $6 billion in crypto assets. The $1.5 billion Bybit heist effectively negated a full year of global economic pressure on the regime. The laundering began in real time, defined by professional execution and terrifying velocity. Phase 1, the immediate fan-out. Within the first 48 hours, $160 million was on the move. The primary goal was defensive, converting stolen tokens like STETH into the native asset, Ether, ETH, to protect against centralized freezing actions. The funds then entered an aggressive layering stage known as peel chains. The assets were rapidly split and distributed across a vast network of new wallets, dispersing into approximately 50 intermediary wallets within just 2 hours. This fan-out technique was designed to overwhelm standard blockchain analysis tools and buy critical time. Phase 2, the cross-chain escape. The next step was to convert the ETH into the more resilient asset, Bitcoin, BTC. This relied heavily on protocols designed for anonymity and speed. The Lazarus Group extensively leveraged the permissionless bridge Thorchain to execute high-volume native swaps between ETH and BTC. They utilized streaming swaps, breaking huge trades into hundreds of smaller, continuous micro-swaps to evade detection thresholds. Further compounding the issue, approximately $200 million of the total volume was routed through the anonymous, no KYC centralized exchange EXCH. This single entity defied law enforcement, actively profiting from the state-sponsored crime. Phase 3, obfuscation and cash-out. With the funds successfully converted to Bitcoin, the final stage involved maximum obfuscation. The assets were routed through virtual currency mixers like CryptoMixer and privacy wallets that utilize coin-join transactions, completely destroying the transactional history. Analysts estimate that over $1 billion of the assets were successfully laundered within 6 months. This speed points to the use of specialized laundering-as-a-service organizations, outsourcing the complexity and minimizing the DPRK operatives' direct exposure. The final step sees the anonymized BTC converted into fiat currency via P2P vendors, the funds diluted and dispersed, making full recovery logistically prohibitive. While Bybit immediately pledged to cover all customer losses, the incident exposed a profound systemic flaw. The loss of $1.5 billion drained from a single commingled cold wallet demonstrates the catastrophic concentration risk inherent in standard exchange custody practices. The security industry's main takeaway is stark. Blind signing must be eliminated. Custody solutions must now pivot to enforce off-chain transaction validation. Signers must cryptographically confirm the transaction details against an independently generated manifest, ensuring that the visual display cannot be tampered with. The $1.5 billion Bybit ghost is more than a cautionary tale of a single massive exploit. It is proof that state-sponsored actors have successfully integrated traditional espionage with advanced on-chain manipulation. It mandates that global financial security must now evolve to meet a threat that is not just criminal, but geopolitical, sophisticated, and utterly relentless.